What's up guys, Andrew aka the Glocktopus here with Glocktopus Reviews, and this week we're bringing you a review on the Tyrant Design CNC Glock Gen 5 extended slide release, their extended mag release, and their rear slide cover plate. These are really cool. They've got these chevron designs that they like to tie into a lot of their pieces. These are made out of 6061 hard coat anodized aluminum. They're pretty durable and they have a really nice feel to them to where your finger won't slip off in stressful situations. If you guys want to see more videos like this, go ahead and like and subscribe to our pages on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Let's get started. Alright guys, today this is going to be a quick video on a review and installation of the Tyrant Design CNC extended slide release, extended mag release, and rear slide cover plate for the Glock Gen 5. We're going to go ahead and get started. You're going to do a basic field stripping of your weapon. Go ahead and make sure you have a clear weapon. Make sure all your ammunition's in a separate room. You're not using it in the same room that you're working on your weapon. It's always safety check number one. So we've got a clear weapon here. Go ahead and field strip it for you guys right quick. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started with the installation of the rear slide cover plate. Like I said earlier in the intro, the Tyrant Design CNC guys use this chevron designs on a lot of their pieces. It's a really cool design that I like. It gives a really good tactile feel to a lot of their products. So when installing the rear slide cover plate, you're going to need some tools. I'm going to put those tools down in the description where you can get them on Amazon. Start with your real Avid Glock tool using the flathead screwdriver. Here underneath where the firing pin is, there's going to be a firing pin sleeve. You're going to pull that down with the flathead, and then with a rearward pressure, you're going to go ahead and pull, while pushing that down, the slide cover plate towards you while holding your thumb over. There is a couple of spring-loaded devices in there that you do not want to pop out on you. Your extractor and your actual firing pin have some pressure behind them, so be careful with that. Once we get this slide cover plate off, guys, you can set that to the side. That's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Get the new slide cover plate. You're going to slide that right on in here in the two grooves on the back of the slide. Go ahead and push down on this firing pin liner here, and then push down on your extractor plunger. And once you get those out of the way, your slide cover plate's going to go right on up, and it'll click in place once that firing pin channel, it's not that channel liner, but the firing pin sleeve will sit in that groove that's on the back of the slide cover plate. Alright guys, we're going to get zoomed in here a little bit and show you the installation of the extended magazine release, and we're going to show you how you have to remove the OEM magazine release button to install this one. You're going to need a special tool. The link is in the description. This is the Tango Down Glock magazine release tool. It's a special built tool for this single purpose. Don't try and use a flathead screwdriver or a pick. Those are just going to tear up your weapon on the inside. I recommend this hands down over anything else to get this out. What you're going to do is you're going to get this flat edge of the magazine release tool, and if you can see down inside the well here, you get that tool right behind the spring, right in the middle, and as soon as you get it behind, you do a twisting motion to the right, and you hear that? The spring pops right out. See if we can get a good shot of that there. See, the spring is now out of the magazine release button. So now you can actually take this button and slide it to the side. You're going to need to get your tool back in there and pry this spring up to get the magazine release button all the way out of the weapon. And that's how you get it out. Installation is going to be the backwards version of what we just did. So you'll take whichever side you're installing this on. If you're left-handed, right-handed, this is used for a right-handed shooter on this weapon. So we're going to go ahead and install it from the right-hand side of the weapon, installing the serrations first. You'll get those inside, and before you can push this all the way across, you're going to have to get the spring that's in the way right here on the other side out of the way. Go ahead and pry that up with your tool. And when you pry that up, at the same time, you're going to want to slide your magazine release button past it. And then the actual spring is going to rest on the back of the button. That's fine. You'll see that there. And you'll be able to push this all the way through. As soon as that gets into place, take your magazine release tool. You're going to put it on the side of the spring, move it to the side over to the opening on the actual button and push down. And as soon as you do that, you'll hear an audible click and the spring will be seated down into the magazine release button. The way you'll be able to tell it was installed correctly, you can push on it and you'll get the resistance of the spring, and you can also visually see that the spring is seated into the bottom of the magazine release button. Alright guys, last but not least, the part that you've all been waiting for, the new Tyrant Designs Gen 5 extended slide release. We've been waiting a couple months for these. They were just shipped a week ago. We've had our hands on these, reviewing it and testing it, and we're going to show you how to install it here on the weapon. You're going to need a couple things. Once again, they are listed in the description. This is made by Real Avid. It is a acupunch hammer and punch set, and it comes with this little bench block, which is really awesome. Comes with all these different holes where you can hammer out your pins on your weapons. And if you own a 1911, which I don't, you can use this special tool here on the bottom to actually disassemble and field strip your 1911. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to line this up here on our block with the trigger pin only. You want to take your hammer with, I prefer the plastic end here. Some people use this steel end. Get your punch right into the center of your pin here, and we're going to hammer that out of the weapon. Don't use too much force, it shouldn't be hard. Once you get that out of the weapon, take that out. We're going to set that guy to the side. You're going to come back to your Real Avid flathead Glock tool, and we're going to pry the locking block up. If you don't have enough space, it's not really hard to get this out of there. Just get that in between and pry your locking block up and out, and we'll get to that as well. So now you have access to your slide release, your OEM slide release. That's just going to lift out of the weapon. Super simple. You're going to set that to the side, and then you take your drop-in replacement from Tyrant Designs. That goes right back inside with the spring on the right-hand side of the weapon. Set that in. Take your locking block. Locking block goes right back in the same way that you took it out. And then we're going to go ahead and get a second punch. This is how I put my weapon back together. Some people don't use a punch to put it back together. I think it lines everything up inside the weapon easily for you. So we're going to go ahead and put the punch in the opposite side that we're installing the pin from. If you can see in here, this punch goes all the way through, kind of lines everything up for me. And then I get my pin, and while I push here, I have slight pressure on the punch on the bottom, and then we take our plastic end of the hammer and we can lightly tap this pin back into the frame without damaging the frame, and the punch just falls out of the bottom. We'll go ahead and make sure this pin is centered into the weapon, and that's it, guys. It's a super simple, straightforward installation of the extended slide release. I do have to tell you about all these things that I've put on the weapon. This slide release and this mag release button are very tactile. They give a ton of grip. There's no sliding off your mag release. There's no sliding off of your slide release. Something that's a super plus for me when you have sweaty hands, you're stressed out. It's just something that gives you that little bit of an edge if you're having grip error. Just one thing to note, guys. Let's get this thing put back together and show you what it looks like. And here we go, guys. You've now got your extended magazine release here on the bottom, your extended slide release, and your rear slide cover plate. If you're like me, I kind of like to match things on my weapons. Tyrant makes all kinds of colors on these cover plates and slide releases. This is my Gen 3 P80. I've got the gold Tyrant Design slide release here, and we've got the rear slide cover plate on the back in gold. And then also on this weapon, we have the blue slide cover plate on the back. So you've got tons of options: red, blue, gold, silver, I believe. Whatever suits your fancy, you can get it over at Tyrant Design CNC. I hope this installation video was informative and helps you guys out with making your choices on some accessories for your weapons. If you have any questions or concerns, go ahead and put those in the comments below. We'll try and get back to you as soon as we can. Once again, go ahead and get these tools. That might cost you a little bit of money now, but in the long run, it's something that you're going to need if you're going to be working on multiple weapons. Thanks for joining us today, guys. And remember, if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and like and subscribe to our pages on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Hope you guys stay healthy, stay safe, and stay lit with Olight. Check you guys later.